Hello, my name is Winnie Enemy. I am a mental health therapist and a life coach. I am the founder and CEO of Thrive Unburdened, and this is how I do it. I really started getting into mental health and exploring the mental health field from personal experiences. When I started undergrad, I actually had no intention whatsoever of getting into mental health. I actually wanted to be more involved in the medical field. And so it was during that time of my life when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do and exploring who I was, that I began to realize that there were some issues with anxiety and things like that that I wasn't even aware of until my husband, boyfriend at the time, pointed it out to me that he noticed that I was always breathing really, really hard all the time. And so when he pointed that out, I was like, okay, what is this about? And so I remember one particular situation where one night I had an anxiety attack where I felt like I was about to fall off the bed. And so from that point on, I started really getting more in tune with myself and some of the feelings and emotions that was going on for me. And so it was really hard for me to get to the point where I was able to acknowledge that that was going on, because with our culture, we don't really talk about feelings and emotions. We don't talk about mental health. As long as you're fed, your physical needs are met, you're going to school, you don't have anything to worry about. So mental health and feelings and emotions weren't a thing. But with those personal experiences, I was really able to take a step back and really start diving into what that looked like for me and what that meant for me. So that's how my journey with getting into mental health started. And so now I do what I do because I've really fallen in love with what that process looks like, getting that freedom for myself and being able to utilize some of the coping tools and skills that I've learned from working with different professionals through group therapy and my own personal therapy. I've really learned that people can be free of some of these things. And even though there's not necessarily cures for mental difficulties and challenges and mental health illness, there are treatments for it and people can get treated. So I am very passionate about mental health and talking about it and making sure that people understand that, hey, you don't have to suffer alone. You don't have to live a life where you feel like these sorts of things are so stigmatized that you become silenced and you end up suffering alone. So that's why I do what I do, because I really just love doing this stuff and I'm very passionate about it. Right now, our services are offered to clients living in Alaska, Florida, and Louisiana. We offer telehealth sessions to clients living in Alaska, Florida, and Louisiana, but we recently opened an office in Leesville, Louisiana, and so now I'm able to see clients in person. This is our office here in Leesville, Louisiana. We are located on 1610 South 5th Street, Suite B, and I'm going to take you inside so I can give you a quick tour, and we're gonna sit down and talk a little bit more about what we do and how we do it. So come on in. All right, well, welcome. We're going to walk in here. So when you walk into our office, we really try to make it to where it's very welcoming and warm. And so in here, once you enter, you can see our waiting area, and we try to have calming and relaxing music playing in the background. In here is my office. I work out of here. This is also where I provide my telehealth sessions via video. So for clients who live in Alaska, Florida, and Louisiana as well, if the Louisiana clients aren't able to make it to the office, or you live outside of the Leesville area, you can do your sessions via telehealth. So this is where I do that. All right, and so out here we have our front desk welcome area, and of course we saw the waiting area already, and then in here is the therapy room where I meet with clients in person. And so again, for any client, for anyone who lives in the Leesville area and who want to have their sessions in person, this is where we would be meeting, and here. That's a really good question. Managing a therapy practice is definitely not a small feat. I went to school to become a therapist, not for business. And so part of the process for me, as far as making sure that the business runs well and I'm able to do what I love doing, which is really providing therapy and interacting with clients, I've had to realize that I can't do it all by myself. And so I'm not doing it by myself. I have a wonderful billing manager who handles all the billing aspect of the business. She handles payments and health insurance, credentialing, and helping clients navigate all the different financial questions and things like that come up as part of having a therapy practice.
Hi, my name is Danielle, and I'm the billing manager for Thrive Unburdened. For the past, I would say about 15 years, I've been in the healthcare and medical billing industry. I love the idea of serving people by helping them bridge the gap between provider, insurance, and learning things about healthcare that they don't understand. So my why would be that I've got a skill, I've got a resource that I can offer to other people. So I enjoy that education and sharing my knowledge with others. Now that I'm working with a mental health practice, I think what drew me to that is my own journey with realizing that mental health is something that you have to seek help outwardly for. Right? So we can sometimes just say, I'm gonna take a break, take a mental break. We take mental days from work. We try to participate in self-help activities. But I think it's really important that you seek help when you have reached a point where you can't fix things or process things on yourself. So that brought me to the mental health industry. I really believe in what Winnie is doing with Thrive Unburdened, and providing my resource to her is a way of supporting her and her initiative with mental health. Currently at Thrive Unburdened, we are accepting 3 insurances. So what I'll explain a little bit about is which locations take what insurances. So currently in Alaska, Winnie as well as Rhonda are both accepting Premera Blue Cross Blue Shield. With Blue Cross Blue Shield, as long as it's your plan accepts preferred providers, Winnie as well as Rhonda can see you, even though it may not be a Premera natural insurance. So if you live in the state of Alaska and you have a Michigan insurance, as long as your insurance participates in preferred providers, we can accept that Blue Cross plan. For Alaska, we are also enrolled in TRICARE West. That is for Winnie at this time. We are also working on getting Rhonda credentialed and paneled with TRICARE West. For Florida and Louisiana, Winnie is credentialed with both TRICARE East for Louisiana. Blue Cross Blue Shield, we are also accepting for the state of Louisiana. As I mentioned with the Alaska Primera, if you are located in the state of Louisiana and you have a other state issued Blue Cross Blue Shield, we can accept it as well, as long as your plan accepts or participates in the preferred provider network. TRICARE East is for both Florida and Louisiana. For TRICARE East, you would just need to be located in the eastern region. Because it's a telehealth, especially if you're using the telehealth option, you do not need to be physically located in either state, but you would need to be in the state of Florida or Louisiana for Winnie. For Rhonda, we are also working on getting her paneled with TRICARE East for the state of Florida. Though she does not accept TRICARE East currently or any other Florida plans, Rhonda is also licensed in the state of Florida. So if you are interested in our services, either with Rhonda or Winnie, I can be reached via email at billing@thriveunburdened.com. You can also reach me by telephone at 561-425-9059. We are also on Facebook, as we stated. We're on Instagram. Any of those sites would have my contact information listed, as well as our website.
We recently started offering a practicum/internship program for counselors in training. So counselors in training are students going through grad school who are learning to become a therapist. And so our very first practicum student started with us this semester. She's been absolutely amazing.
My name is Serenity Horsley. I'm a graduate student at Liberty University, and I am completing my practicum hours at Thrive Unburdened. I am studying clinical mental health counseling because as a child growing up, I lost my mom at a very young age, and I wasn't able to receive the services that I needed to heal as a child. So I came into this field to help those who are unable to receive the services they need and to be a support to those who need it. My practice experience has been great so far. I think the only challenge that I have experienced so far is working with clients who have experienced the same thing as me, and I'm able to control my emotions. But other than that, it's been great. I'm learning a lot of things, and also I'm being able to learn what to do as a counselor and what not to do as a counselor where I don't unintentionally harm my clients. My goals for after I complete my degree is being able to be professionally prepared for this field, along with mentally prepared. Also, I want to be able to learn everything I can to run a nonprofit organization so I can provide for those who doesn't have the necessary insurance to cover their care.
And so we are really hoping that in the future, we will be able to provide more opportunities for counselors in training to get their practicum and the internship hours completed. We offer services to families, children, and adults. My personal niche is anxiety and depression. And so I work primarily with teenage girls and young adult women who are struggling with anxiety, depression, and trauma-related things. I also do family therapy / marriage counseling for clients who are struggling with their relationship issues and things of that sort. Our Alaska-based clinician, her name is Rhonda, and she works primarily with clients who have had traumatic experiences. So clients who are trying to figure out how to navigate those traumatic experiences and how to integrate those experiences into their lives. And we also have a life coach. Her name is Sandra, and she works with all age groups and client populations as well. People who are looking for services can go to our website. It's thriveunburdened.com, and they can use that to submit a request to talk to us. They can also find us on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And it's just at Thrive Unburdened. And our local phone number for Leesville is 337-221-4596. People can also reach us via email, info@thriveunburdened.com, or 561-601-6345. Our address in Leesville is 1610 South 5th Street, Suite B, Leesville, Louisiana, 71446.